Hi lads, just going to talk a little bit about kames. Now how kames form is this area here is where we've got lots of ice, and the striped areas here is ice, and you may well have a glacier or a river perhaps flowing over the top of this ice. Now what happens is the water may fall into a moulin or a crevasse, and as it falls and sediment will come with that water, and that sediment will then be deposited on the inside, and you end up with basically having channels of sediment building up in between where you had in between where the ice is. Now what happens is once that glacier then melts away, you actually end up with your calm terraces left behind. So the ice melts away, leaving behind these calms, these mounds of material, and they tend to be deposits of sand and gravel, which tend to be found at the front of the ice, the melting ice sheet. And these irregular undulating mounds are often ill-sorted because they tend to collapse when the ice around them melts away, so they won't be supported, and so they tend to be unsorted once they've collapsed. Better sorted deposits are found as calm terraces. Now, calm terraces form on the sides of glaciers, so you may well have a glacier, let's say, running down here, and on the sides of the mountains here you've got freeze-thaw occurring. So freeze-thaw weathering is occurring on the sides, and you end up with huge amounts of sediment falling into the sides. A little bit how you form lateral moraines. Now, if you've got a huge amount of sediment there, it means that that's a dark material, which of course has a very low albedo, which means it doesn't reflect much of the sun's heat. It tends to absorb it. If it's absorbing heat, it will melt the ice around it, and you end up with essentially a river flowing down here. And as that river flows, then a bit like how eskers form, it will be carrying sediment within it. And of course, during the seasons, that amount of flowing water is going to change. And as it moves towards your more winter months, there is going to be far less meltwater, which means you're going to have more deposition occurring, and you end up with these huge mounds of sediment either side, which when the glacier then melts, you end up with your calm terrace, which again will be more sorted than perhaps your calms that we've got in the diagram to the right. So that's calms and calm terraces.